Welcome to High School Sports on the Harvard Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison tonight at Joppatowne High School. It's the final match of the season for both Aberdeen, the visitors, and Joppatowne, the home team. It is senior night here at Joppatowne as the 6 seniors were honored who will be leaving, actually 8 seniors on this Joppatowne team. They'll be leaving. This is their final contest, final time they'll be on this court here at Joppatowne. Always a very emotional time for the seniors. The Joppatowne Mariners, as you see, been a tough season. 1-12 is their record. Yeah, they beat Loch Raven. They've been in some matches, and some matches they just haven't been able to compete. Aberdeen, on the other hand, with a 12-3 record, having lost only to North Hartford and to Elkton twice. They have played very, very well under the first-year coach, Jamia McCluskey. We'll talk more about Jamia in just a moment. In fact, let's talk about her right now. Jamia McCluskey, the first-year head coach of the volleyball team, also coaches track and field and coaches basketball at Aberdeen. Interesting because she played all 3 of those sports before she graduated in 2013 from Aberdeen. And get this, I think, just off the record, she has the record for the most state titles in the history of any athlete in terms of Harford County scholastic athletics. She has won 2 100-yard dash titles and also 2 long jump titles in the state meets when she was a track and field star. And back in the day, the 2 basketball teams that she played on at Aberdeen, her junior and senior year, both won state titles. So 6 state titles, Jamia McCluskey. Meantime, the coach for the Joppatowne Mariners, the host coach, that is Michelle Watson. Michelle played volleyball back in Saginaw High School. Filling in this year, Susan Arena had been the head coach, but she went off because she's had a child, and so now this year at least, and maybe more, Coach Watson will be coaching. She's assisted by Nicholas Solzbach. Nicholas was a star player for Bel Air going back to 2015 when they won the state title. I should say the county title, which amounts to the state title, since that's all there is. So that's the 2 coaches, and the assistant coach for Aberdeen, or actually, yeah, for Aberdeen is April Bideman. We're just underway now. Joppatowne, the host team, on the left, serving toward Aberdeen, the team on the right. That's going to be in, and Aberdeen will get the first point. Aberdeen leads by 1-0. Rules very similar to boys volleyball. 25 is the game. You play best 3 out of 5. If you win the first 2, then you play, of course, a third for the title. If you go to 5, the 5th game will be 15 points. We'll identify the players as we go. That's going to be falling in, and no, Aberdeen is able to return it. Eagles playing very, very good team ball so far. You notice you don't see a whole lot of spiking going on as you do in the boys game, because the net is a little bit lower, 7 feet 2 inches, but the girls basically don't jump nearly as high as the boys. It's more of a game played on the floor and passing. Very good volley here early on. Identify some of the players for you as we go. Oh, nice move. Good move by Joppatowne. Joppatowne's number 8, Kaylee Morales. We have a tie score at 1-1. You can hear the fans here very excited on senior night at Joppatowne. Starting lineup for Aberdeen: Leah Lucas, Savannah Murdoch, Yimi Dankwa, Shyla Johnson, Jocelyn Kruger, De'Ara Spencer. Starting lineup for Joppatowne: Kaylee Morales, Carolyn Wynn, Kenesha Ocasio-Gonzalez, Shania Lewis, Amaya Story, and Chandria Leverin, excuse me, Chandria. Score now is 2-1. Mariners leading. Ball out of play, so the Mariners now, it is a 2-2 tie. I think I said a moment ago the Mariners were leading. The scoreboard has it a little differently, so it's 2-2 is our score. Trying to keep the ball in, and successfully so. That ball's out. Following the ball as it goes out is number 23, Jocelyn Kruger. Jocelyn is a Science Math Academy student, as are 4 of her teammates, 3 of her teammates and Jocelyn. Jocelyn is just a sophomore. Back to serve the ball with Savannah Murdoch. It's going to go out of play, and the point goes to Aberdeen. They up now 4-2. We were tied at 1, we were tied at 2, and now it's 4-2 The Eagles leading. Again, each game is to 25. Serving again, Shalana Murdoch. Let's see. Nope, point Aberdeen. That ball was in. Just barely in, so make it 5-2. No, the scoreboard says 4-3. I think that should be 5-2. They have not corrected the scoreboard. They're listing it as 4-3. We'll try to get that score right for you in just a moment. Scoreboard is saying 4-3, Aberdeen lead. Let's see what they put up now, and we'll tell you the real score. Yep, no, they're saying the score is 5-3 Aberdeen, so sorry about that in the van. 5-3 Aberdeen leading. Well, let's see now, the whistle is blowing, and let's see if that score was incorrect. We're not sure. We had it at 4-2 Aberdeen before they scored that last point. Now they're talking to the scorer's table, so we'll get that straightened out for you here post-haste, hopefully. Officials on the court. Michael Moon is the up official. John Batista is the official talking now to the scorer's table. Nope, they're going to leave the score at 5-3, so that is the official score. Aberdeen leading at 5-3. Murdoch still serving in her second year as a player at Aberdeen. Remember, none of these young ladies played last year. No sports being conducted in Harford County during the pandemic last year. That point is going to go to Aberdeen. Aberdeen leading now 6-3. As we said, the Eagles coming in with a 12-3 record. The only losses on their schedule, North Harford and Elkton. Boy, Murdoch with a great serve. Unable to return it, make it now 7-3. These two teams met earlier in the year. It was a 3 straight games of victory for Aberdeen. Senior night, we always talk about whether that is a distraction or, whether it actually pumps up the players here at Joppatowne. They're proud of their program. They're trying to build a winner. It is a difficult situation when you have a limited number of athletes to choose from. Joppatowne being one of the smaller schools in the county. Aberdeen with that great tradition going back to the days that Jamia McCluskey, we talked about the coach for Aberdeen, playing at Aberdeen. Think about that, winning 2 state titles each in the 100-yard dash and in the long jump, and then winning 2 basketball titles. Again, 6 state titles to her credit as a student, now a special ed and math teacher at Aberdeen, and coaching 3 sports. I can't imagine trying to coach 3 sports while having a full load of teaching, but that's exactly what she's doing. Here we go, Aberdeen serving now. Eagles have scored the last 4 points in a row. We were tied at 2, tied at 1, and now it is 7-3, the lead for Aberdeen. We'll let it go, and it is long. That point goes to Joppatowne, make it 7-4 now. Mariners will serve. They'll send back number 4, Carolyn Wynn. Carolyn in her second year, outside hitter. She's a member of the Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness Magnet Program here at Joppatowne. Trying to get it across, can't do it. That point going to Aberdeen, 8-4. Eagles will go back to serve now, and they'll send back Amaya Story, number 2. Hospitality Management. Pardon me, I'll get that right. The number 2 is for Aberdeen. That's Yemi Danqua. Boy, nice hammer hit there by Kruger. Good return by Joppatowne. Going across on a nice play. That was Kiera Spencer for Aberdeen. Number 24. Kiera in her 3rd year, headed to NC-A&T State next year, going into psychology and criminology. Yemi Danqua with the serve and the 9-4 lead for Aberdeen. Now make it 10-4. Remember, we were tied at 2. So it's a run of 8-1 for the Eagles here in the last minute or so. Yemi Dankwa with the serve. It's going to be in. That is a great serve. Just maybe a foot in, maybe less than that. 11-4. Aberdeen Eagles into the ball game, number 1. That's Leah Lucas. Leah is a freshman, actually. Another member of the SMA, Science Math Academy at Aberdeen. Great hit. Long hit by Joppatowne. That by number 8, Kaylee Morales. So Joppatowne breaks that scheme, makes it 11-5. Back to serve for Joppatowne. It's number 9, Kanisha Ocasio-Gonzalez. Member, again, of that Homeland Security program here at Joppatowne. Great serve, just over the net. Make it 11-5. Now 11-6, actually. So Joppatowne coming back. Kanisha Ocasio-Gonzalez, her second year as a volleyball player here at Joppatowne. Nice set, nice hit. Good job by Joppatowne. Get it back over. Good job, Aberdeen. This is probably one of the best volleys we've seen. A little miscommunication, but Joppatowne gets it over. Seeing some quality volleyball right now. Joppatowne's Amaya Story, number 2. And just like that, Aberdeen is going to score the point as Joppatowne hits it out of play. 13-6 now. Check it, 12-6, pardon me. 12-6 the lead for Aberdeen. It's called hit them where they ain't, the Wee Willie Keeler philosophy, as Joppatowne picks up the point, making it 12-7. The ball just right there in no man's land. Back to serve for Joppatowne. That's Sanaya Lewis in her first year playing volleyball. Member of the Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Program. One of the magnet programs here in the county. A great volley out of play. Joppatowne's point. The Mariners are not going to go away. They're back to 12-8. Remember, they were down 11-4 just a moment ago. They've come back now to narrow it down to a 4-point deficit. Back to serve again. Sanaya Lewis. And just a little bit of a off-kilter serve that'll give the ball to Aberdeen and the point. Make it 13-8. And here's Jocelyn Kruger now, the SMA program. Jocelyn hails out of Bel Air, would have gone to Patterson Mill. That ball ticked the net, but it went over, and a good point for Aberdeen. You have to think about these signature magnet programs where students leave their home school area, their home vicinity, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, catch a bus to go to Aberdeen or to Joppatowne, wherever that signature program happens to be. I think she touched it. Yeah, she did. Make it 16-8 now. Or actually 15-8, pardon me. 15-8 to score. Kruger with the serve. That's going to be long, and is. Point goes to Joppatowne, make it 15-9. Serving for Joppatowne, it's Amaya Story. Whistle blows, looks like Aberdeen with a substitution. Coming in for Aberdeen is number 13, Hannah Weir. Hannah, another one of the freshmen on the Aberdeen team. Oh, that ball just gets over. Point, Joppatowne, make it 15-10. Mariners are hanging tough. Amaya Story, senior. Ball might have been out of play. Good if it goes over, and it does. That was a great play by Aberdeen to keep that ball alive. Savannah Murdoch, number 25, came over and saved that ball inbounds and got it all the way over for the point for Aberdeen, making it 16-10. The libero comes in for Aberdeen. That's the young lady who plays defense mostly. Number 19, that's Shelly Velez. Shelly Velez, a senior. First year playing volleyball. Remember, nobody played any sports last year here in Harford County. 16-11 the score. In to play for Joppatowne. Number 20, that's Kelsey Pollock. Kelsey, an outside hitter. Headed to Utah next year for nursing, one of the seniors. And unfortunately comes off the bench and unable to make the serve. Making it now 17-11 Aberdeen. So we said it is senior night here at Joppatowne. Here's Leah Lucas, the freshman for Aberdeen, doing the serve. Into the net, point Aberdeen, 18-11. Leah comes from the Bel Air area in the SMA, Science Math Academy at Aberdeen. Point for Aberdeen, make it 19-11. Had a chance to talk to some of the young ladies from Aberdeen about their decision to come to Aberdeen and leave their home school area. Each one of them said that they are now an Eagle. You know, they could have been Bel Air, could have been Patterson Mill, whatever. They are now fully an Eagle, participating in all the Aberdeen activities. That point served into the net, making it 19-12. Lead for Aberdeen, up by 7. First time we've seen a jump serve. Oh, just a miss-hit there as the ball by Kaylee Morales doesn't get it across. High risk, high reward on that play. Timing has to be perfect, making it 20-12. Now Murdoch, Savannah Murdoch serving for Aberdeen, another member of the SMA program, just a junior. The ball's going to be out of play. Point for Aberdeen, 21-12. Savannah Murdoch is from the Falston area, attending Aberdeen High School as a Science Math Academy student. 21-12, 4 points away from winning this first game of the 3-set match. Oh, that's going to be out of play. Good job by Joppatowne not to try to hit that ball. Kaylee Morales gave it a good look and said, nope, that's going to be out of play, and let it go, make it 21-13. Serving now for Joppatowne, into the net, Carolyn Wynn. Obviously, everything begins with a good serve. You want to make sure you get it across in good position. Point goes to Aberdeen, 3 points away now, leading at 22-13. New player in for Aberdeen. That's Gianna Braxton. Gianna way over to the near side on her serve. Obviously, you can serve anywhere you want behind that line. Unable to make the play. That was Lauren Morris into the ball game. First year player, sophomore for Aberdeen, unable to make the play. 22-14. Joppatowne back to serve. That's Kanisha Ocasio-Gonzalez to serve. Softball player for 3 years, a mock trial team. Nice dig by Aberdeen. Good keeping it alive and getting it across. Good job by Aberdeen. And that was their number 16, Gianna Braxton, who was able to get that ball across. 23-14 the score. Aberdeen within 2 points now of winning this first game, first set of the match. New player into the ball game for Aberdeen. It's Ellie Xavier, number 3 sophomore, another member of the SMA program. She's out of the Falston area. 4 members on the Aberdeen team are in the SMA, Science Math Academy. Oh, a kill. That's Kruger. Goodness gracious, she went up and hit the ball downward. 7'2" the net. Jocelyn's about 6 feet tall. She's a pretty tall young lady, maybe not quite that tall. Point for Aberdeen. Now it is game point. That's going to be out of play. So Joppatowne lives to fight for another point at least, down by 24-15. Serving for Joppatowne, Sanaya Lewis. And that's going to be out of play, and the point goes to Aberdeen, and they win the first game on that bad serve, 25-15. Fundamentals, obviously, is the first thing you have to do if you're going to be a successful program, and that means just, being able to serve the ball well, serve it across the net, get it in a good position, being able to just make the routine plays, and that's what the Joppatowne program is working on, trying to build for the future. Aberdeen, meantime, with their coaching staff, Jamia McCluskey and April Bideman, just doing a great job here. And again, I just keep wondering, not wondering, but being impressed with someone like Jamia McCluskey, who would coach 3 sports while teaching a full load of special ed and math. You just have to take your cap off to her, what she's doing to benefit her alma mater, coaching at the school where you were the star player. Again, emphasizing 6 state championships for Jamia McCluskey when she was a high school student. Just amazing. We had the pleasure of covering Jamia when we were doing the games at Aberdeen back in the early 2010s. She won 2 UFBAC titles in basketball, 3 regional titles in basketball, 2 state titles in basketball, and made first and second team all-county each year that she was in high school. In track and field, went to states all 4 years, 2 state titles in the long jump, 2 state titles in the 100-meter dash. She holds the long jump record at a track invitational. Jamia McCluskey, when you talk about the all-time great athletes in the history of Harford County high school sports, you're going to have to put Jamia McCluskey right up there in that pantheon of the great athletes. Jamia McCluskey. Do you get the impression I'm impressed with Jamia McCluskey? Well, you should, because she has earned that. And besides all that, just a wonderful person, great teacher, great person. The kids love her. So, it's the kind of person that you want to have your student, if you've got a choice, to have, as part of that class. Senior night here at Joppatowne. The delay, I can't tell you exactly what's going on. Normally you don't have this much of a delay between games, but they'll get it straightened out, I'm sure. John Stefanides over doing the PA announcing and also keeping the score, keeping it very well. You may remember that name. John teaches here in special ed at Joppatowne, but he also coaches basketball at C. Milton Wright for about a decade. We were talking before this game started about the upcoming basketball season. Looking forward to, basketball here in Harford County. And again, the fact that we didn't have fall sports or we didn't have winter sports last year, the fact that we're able to play the sports, give it, albeit with the restrictions of COVID, everybody just trying to do their best to make a go of it. They're happy to say we're back in school. As much as the idea of trying to do virtual education was the best that could be done, it certainly doesn't substitute for being in person. I don't think you'll get very much argument about that. So here we go now, second game. Aberdeen up by 1-0. Joppatowne will be doing the serving. And they'll send out Kaylee Morales, their senior. There's that jump serve. Oh, great at the net. Let's see, no, they're going to give the point to Joppatowne. They're going to say that Leah Lucas was into the net. Leah, not the biggest person on the court. She couldn't believe that call, but it went against her. So Joppatowne goes up by 1-0. And the serve doesn't get across, so now it's just like that 1-1. And the aforementioned Leah Lucas back to serve, freshman. Doesn't play like a freshman. Point for Aberdeen. Eagles leading now 2-1. We had 2 ties in that first game, tied at 1 and tied at 2, and then Aberdeen went on a run. Here's Lucas. Ooh, just not quite high enough to get over the net. Leah has that smile on her face like, oops, sorry about that. 2-2 now, our second tie of this second game. See if Joppatowne can take a lead. Out it goes, and just like that, Joppatowne does. They're up by 3-2. First lead the Joppatowne Mariners have had. Well, they did lead 1-0 here. Serving for Joppatowne, it's Mariah Thompson. Check, no, it's Carolyn Wynn. Going to be out of play. Good try there by Morales, not able to keep it in. We're tied at 3. So tied at 1, tied at 2, and now tied at 3. Back to serve is Savannah Murdoch. Savannah Jr. Touched by Joppatowne. They're saying it's out, but no, it was touched, so it will be point Aberdeen. Aberdeen leading now 4-3. Murdoch to serve again. Savannah out of Falston area in the SMA program at Aberdeen. Just a wicked serve. Good job getting it back over by Joppatowne. Oh, nice dive by Morales. Just not able to get it across the net. Good effort. 5-3 now, Aberdeen leading. Up by 2. Murdoch to serve again. Nope, right into the net. 5-4. We talked about fundamentals, and that certainly has to drive a coach crazy. Seems so easy to get the ball across the net, but not as easy as it looks. Joppatowne, new player in the ball game. Yeah, I'm looking for her number, and yeah, that's Shariah Leverin. Sorry, Shariah. One of the seniors on the team. Good set. Morales. Great play. Murdoch with the save. That was Kruger getting it across for Aberdeen. Maybe the best volley we've had all night. Aberdeen, good communication, but hitting the ball into the net. And point goes to Joppatowne. We're tied again at 5. Our 4th tie. We were tied at 1, tied at 2, tied at 3, and now tied at 5. Serving for Joppatowne. That was Kenesha Ocasio-Gonzalez. And a great play by Aberdeen. You heard the oohs and ahs as Aberdeen takes the 6-5 lead. Nice crowd here on senior night at Joppatowne. Into the ball game for serve for Aberdeen. And that'll be a point for Aberdeen. Gianna Braxton. Gianna is senior, but it's her first year of playing organized volleyball. 7-5 the Aberdeen lead. Now make it 8-5. Here's the danger point for Joppatowne. They were tied at 5. 3 straight points ripped off here by Aberdeen. Gianna Braxton, middle hitter. It's going to be, is that in? Yes, it is. Wow, that ball was right about an inch in, both long and on the left-hand side. So the point goes to Aberdeen, 9-5. You couldn't have taken the ball and placed it there any better than that. Braxton, again, great serving. She's got that size, able to hit the ball on a low trajectory, getting it just across the net. Aberdeen has run off 5 straight points now. Timeout wisely called by Michelle Watson of Joppatowne. Nicholas Zolzbach, the assistant coach, who was a basketball player. You see him there in the background with the Dig Pink shirt on. He voluntarily came out and coached. It's his first year teaching science here at Joppatowne. And he said he wasn't really sure he wanted to dive into coaching right away, wanted to get his feet on the ground as a teacher, but they had a need. He stepped forward, volunteered to coach, and now he's talking about Joppatowne does not have a boys volleyball program, and he's talking about maybe next year starting a boys program. Had a chance to talk to him before we started here tonight. Fine young man who graduated Bel Air. I believe he said 2015, and that was the year that we covered, so maybe it was actually 16 that he graduated. But Bel Air state champions, I say that because they're another counties that play the fall volleyball in boys. So if you win the county title, you are just automatically the state champion. So here comes Aberdeen, still in. Great serving. Boy, coming in here and just doing a great job, Gianna Braxton. 11-5. Remember, we were tied at 5-5 just a couple of minutes ago. 6 straight points by Aberdeen. Great picture of Braxton. Oh, great job. Up and tipping it over without touching the net. Great job by Aberdeen's number 24. And that is Kiera Spencer, third-year player, senior. Kiera went up over the net, got it without touching. It is call, waiting for the call. They're saying it was, still waiting for the call. They're saying it was out, yeah. So 12-6 the score as Joppatowne gets that point. Mariners bring in their number 11, Ruby. Ruby, I'm going to try to do your last name credit. Ataobi, I believe is the way that she says her last name. Oh, that ball balanced on the net and came back over on the side of Joppatowne. And that means Aberdeen gets the point. They're leading 13-6. New player in to serve for Aberdeen. It's number 8, Shyla Johnson. Her first year playing organized volleyball, a senior. Remember, last year as juniors, none of these young people got a chance to play. We repeat that so many times, but it's just one of those sad things that was a reality, that there were no sports and no in-person education last year during the first fall and winter semesters. So happy to be back telecasting and watching these young people play. Nope, they're going to say that ball settled in her hand a little too much, and they're going to call the penalty against Joppatowne and give the point to Aberdeen. 14-6 now. We were tied at 5. Aberdeen 9-1 since that point. Into the net, stays on the Joppatowne side, 15-6. You can see how powerful this Aberdeen team is. Again, losing only 3 matches all year. This is the final match of the regular season. Nope, and now Aberdeen is called for letting that ball settle into the hand too much down to the palm. You got to hit the ball with your fingertips. 15-7 as Joppatowne picks up the point. Mariner server, Maya Story, and Maya, you can see the frustration on her face, not able to get it across. Maya in the hospitality management program here. She's also a cheerleader when she's not playing volleyball. Also track and field. Her twin sister Jade and she are track stars together here at Joppatowne. 16-7 the score. And now 17-7. New player in for Aberdeen doing the serving. That's Hannah Weir. Hannah, her first year player. Of course, she is a freshman. It stays here on the Joppatowne side. Tough break for the Mariners. That ball just almost got across. 18-7. Aberdeen winning the first game 25-15, leading now 18-7. Weir with the serve. And it is going to be another point for Aberdeen. For these Aberdeen freshmen, great promise for the future. Already a good program. Looking at their roster on their starting lineup, they have 3 seniors out of the 6 players. Freshman Leah Lucas, sophomore Jocelyn Kruger, and junior Savannah Murdoch obviously will be returning. At least that's the hope of Jamia McCluskey. For Joppatowne, they have a young squad as well, both young in terms of of their grade level and young in terms of experience. There you see some of the crowd here tonight, a very nice crowd here at Joppatowne on senior night. Had a chance to observe the senior festivities and the hugs and the kisses and the tears. Oh, pretty neat, pretty neat. There you see Joppatowne trying to buoy up their spirits. Aberdeen serving, leading by 19-7. Officials checking, and we're all set to go. Hannah Weir to do the serving. Hannah served the last 3 points. Good set. Yeah, but a miss hit. Carolyn Wynn looks at her hand like, hey, why are you failing me now? 20-7. Here's Weir again. Done a great job serving. Served for 5 straight points. Good job keeping the ball in play. It was Hannah Weir keeping it in play for Aberdeen. Weir's done a great job coming in off the bench. Oh, great hit. That time, Mariah Thompson, check it, Carolyn Wynn. Last time she wasn't able to make the play. This time made it perfectly. 20-8 is the score. Remember, we were tied at 5, so that's a 15-3 lead Aberdeen has run off here. Joppatowne's Kelsey Pollock in to serve. Kelsey headed for University of Utah next year to be in the nursing program. That's just a bad break. That ball hit the top of the net and came back. Point for Aberdeen. As you can tell, it's rally scoring, meaning in the old days when you used to have the serve to get the point. Now you can score a point regardless whether you have the serve or not. Yes, if Aberdeen's number 16, Gianna Braxton, looks like she's tall. Yeah, she is tall. Good young lady to have up there at the front of the net. Aberdeen, great teamwork. There she is. Unable to get it to go down, though. Point goes to Joppatowne. Just a little bit of a missed time on that jump. 7 feet 2 inches, the height of the net. 21-9. Joppatowne getting set to serve. Kaylee Morales. Ooh, point for Joppatowne. 21-10. Morales to serve again. Softball player for 2 years. And it's going to be out of play. No, they're saying it's in. Whoa. And yeah, the Aberdeen fans weren't quite sure. It looked like it might have been out from but hey, I'm about 50 or 60 feet away. Score 21-11. Great serving there by Morales. Oh, not able to get it across. 22-11, 3 points away from winning a second game. Aberdeen's libero back in the game. That's Shelly Velez wearing the white jersey. That means she has to play defense. She can't be on the attack. Here's Leah Lucas again. Oh, Leah hits it into no man's land. Nobody was there, and the ball fell right between everybody. 23-11. It is an ace and 2 points away from winning the second game. Leah Lucas, just a freshman out of Bel Air at the SMA Academy at Aberdeen. What a serve. Wow, how impressive. We talked about Christian Couch the other night for Bel Air, a sophomore. That's be nightmares for boys volleyball coaches. Think about Leah Lucas, who's a freshman, 3 more years. They have to put up with this young lady. Into the net, and that is the game for Aberdeen. They win it by 25-11. So now they have won the first 2 straight games. The first one at 25-15, the second one at 25-11. It is best 3 out of 5, just like the boys volleyball. Aberdeen looking to go 13-3 on the year. Joppatowne looking for their second win of the season. Had a chance to talk to Coach Watson about the year, and of course, as we said, she sort of came in as a substitute coach when the coach who's been here for several years had a child and decided to take the year off from coaching. And then was buoyed by the fact that she was able to get Nicholas Solzbach to come in as an assistant coach. She said that he has just been the answer to prayers in terms of being able to help conditioning and all the intricacies of the game. Coach Watson, who played back in high school, didn't play in college, but you know, she really has come to the forefront and taken over and done a good job. Coach Watson, we talked about her having played at Saginaw High School, graduating class of 1988. Went to school at Michigan State University in East Lansing, Michigan, and came here to Harford County back in 2007, accepting a mathematics teaching job here at Joppatowne. She's coached volleyball for 9 of the 14 years that she's been here. Not for several years, of course, when Coach Susan Arena was the head coach, but Coach Arena stepping down, being a new mother this year. Nicholas Solzbach, a former boys volleyball star at Bel Air High School and a new teacher. Again, we talked about how he wasn't sure he wanted to coach this first year, wanted to get his feet on the ground as a teacher, but the coaching bug just sort of got to him and he said, hey, I will be glad to help. Certainly hope that he's going to be able to fulfill his ambition to start back the volleyball program here as far as boys are concerned next year. Talk about volleyball being just a great sport for basketball players in terms of warming up in the fall, if that's what you want to do, in terms of not playing it as your primary sport. And we agreed, Coach Solzbach agreed that, yeah, that's would be a great warm-up for basketball players. Remember back in the day, back in the 1970s, when Aberdeen had the Mitchell brothers, Skip and Michael. I think one was 6'7", the other was 6'8", great basketball players who played volleyball as well. And can you imagine facing a front line of 6'7", 6'8" basketball jumping players? They really dominated, did the Mitchell brothers there at Aberdeen back in the 1970s. Senior night here at Joppatowne. You see some of the Joppatowne players waving to the fans. It's all kinds of banners and balloons and cakes and all kinds of other celebratory items that they had here at Joppatowne. Just a big, big day. Think about playing, in this case, 3 years. That's all you had because you didn't get to play last year. Now it's your senior season and it's all over after tonight in terms of, being here at Joppatowne. So now we start the third game. Aberdeen staying the blue and gold and white team on your right. Joppatowne in the home white with purple trim and black trim. Love being here in Joppatowne. This older gym, this is the original gym back in 1973 when the school first began. So it's sort of the throwback to the way the gyms were back in the day. Here she is again, Leah Lucas. Young lady did the great serving back in that first, or that second game, I should say. Aberdeen's libero, Shelly Velez, returns it. Point goes to Joppatowne. Ball got down too deep. So Joppatowne takes a lead. 1-0. Here comes this jump serve by Morales. Just so difficult. The timing has to be perfect. You leave your feet behind that line and hit the ball while you're airborne. The idea is you get a lot of momentum, but gosh, so many things that can go wrong. Murdoch, Savannah Murdoch to serve for Aberdeen. Relate that to a baseball pitcher. You've seen pitchers in modern day not taking a very big windup. Kruger with the shot. Lucas gets it back over for Aberdeen. Boy, at the net. I'm not sure that was blocked by Aberdeen, by Aberdeen's Gianna Braxton, or just didn't get across, but she was up over that net about 7 or 8 inches. Point for Aberdeen. They take a 2-1 lead. Murdoch to serve. Back to that analogy in just a moment about baseball pitchers. Kruger Saves it up. Oh, that was the 4th hit. Good job there by Velez, but it was the 4th hit, and the point goes to Joppatowne. We have a tie. We've tied it to 1. Now we're tied at 2. Carolyn Wynn to serve. Good job by the libero by Shelley Velez. Joppatowne with a lead. And you can hear their fans are really pumped up. 3-2 the lead for Joppatowne. Aberdeen up 2 games to none. Joppatowne would have to win the next 2 and force that 5th and deciding game. Gets it over. Beautiful serve. Just over the net. Make it 4-2. Joppatowne with a 2-point lead. Carolyn Wynn, second-year player. Oh, there's the kill. Up and over the net. Miss Gianna Braxton. Remember, you cannot touch the net with any part of your body. Braxton goes up and makes that kill. Narrows the score down now to 4-3, the lead for Joppatowne. This being our last event that we're doing in the fall, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of high school sports on the Harford Cable Network. Thank all the athletic directors and the coaches. Michael Harris, the athletic director here. Michael tells me that he's stepping down this year as athletic director. Sorry to see that happen, but he's been doing it now for a lot of years. Over it comes. Good job by Aberdeen. Is it in? No, good save. Good job by Murdoch. Nope, they're going to say the ball got too far down in the hands. The point is going to go to Aberdeen. We are tied at 4. These players are not giving me a chance to tell you about my analogy of a baseball pitcher, but I will. Good serve there by Yemi Denkwa. I'm getting a request that they want to hear about Ripken. Would that be Billy, Cal, Fred, or Ellie? Billy, yeah. We'll have to wait until they stop playing volleyball out there. They seem to be doing a good job of that right now. Oh, great tip. That's a great play. Great play by Aberdeen. And that's Jocelyn Kruger. The Joppatowne fans weren't happy. They were thinking that, hey, that ball got down a little far. 5-4 the lead for Aberdeen. Now that time it got into the hands of Joppatowne. So now it's 6-4 Aberdeen. My point about pitchers is that when you take a big windup, it's very difficult to get your timing down perfectly. So you see pitchers in these days taking just an abbreviated windup. Much easier to get the mechanics down. That's why we're talking about that jump serve. Okay, both these teams are showing real quality volleyball, what we hope to see tonight when we came to Joppatowne. Oh, what a slam. Good job for Aberdeen. Not the biggest young lady in the world, Shyla Johnson, but Shyla was able to slam that ball across the net, get the point for Aberdeen, 7-4. Serving for the Eagles, Yemi Dankwa. And Yemi gets the point. You see there, the Joppatowne, that bulletin board, if you will, has some of the memorabilia for the seniors here that are graduating tonight for Joppatowne. Oh, graduating tonight, but playing their last game. 8-4 the score. Oh, that ball would have been out. The fans are saying, you should have let it go. It's hard to see when you're down on the floor, but up here, yeah. Easy call when you're in the stands. Yemi Dankwa. Oh, this time Yemi doesn't get it across. Yemi headed for North Carolina A&T State, wants to go into psychology and criminology. Her 3rd year playing as a senior. 9-5 to score. New player in for Joppatowne to serve the ball, Kelsey Pollock. Kelsey, a senior. In the French club, mock trial team, softball. She is an active young lady. Not quite able to get it over. Savannah Murdoch. 9-6. Joppatowne closing. Aberdeen had a 9-4 lead a moment ago. Aberdeen gets it across. Oh, a little miscommunication there by Joppatowne. Point goes to Aberdeen at 10-6. Remember, they've won the first 2 matches. New player in for Aberdeen to do the serving. This is Ellie Xavier. Ellie, a sophomore. Ooh, tough to come off the bench, you know, and be expected to make a perfect serve, and that time she's not able to. 10-7. Ellie Xavier, another of the SMA students, Science Math Academy. She's out of Falston. First year as a volleyball player, because last year as a freshman, she couldn't play because nobody did. Oops, bad serve goes out of play. 11-7, Aberdeen now leading. Eagles looking for their 13th win of the season to go to 13-3. Now it's Jocelyn Kruger, the sophomore. Serves the ball and gets the point. Make it 12-7. We were talking to Jocelyn before we started here, and I had to interrupt her because she was doing her homework. Can you imagine a student who brings her homework with her before she plays an athletic game? I'm saying, you're giving students a bad name. Ooh, out is the call. Jocelyn Kruger says that looked into me. Just kidding about that, but yeah, you know, the time management thing, if you're in the SMA, the Science Math Academy, lots of homework. You can't take a night off just because you have a game. 12-8. Kruger makes the dig, unable to get the ball across though. They'll make it 12-9. So give the Mariners credit, they are not going away. Playing a team like Aberdeen, a quality team, but they're not giving any quarters at all. Here's Amaya Story with the serve. Oh, timing a little bit off. You could see that she maybe tossed the ball a little bit too high and wasn't ready to hit it when it came down. 13-9. Back to serve for Aberdeen. It's Kiera Spencer, senior. Good dig. Oh, nice little tip. Leah Lucas keeps it alive for Aberdeen. Great job by Carolyn Wynn for Joppatowne. Oh, a diving attempt. Save. Can he get it over? No! Oh, what a great save it was by Joppatowne's Amaya Story, number 2. Just not able to get the ball back across, and the point goes to Aberdeen at 14-9. Oh, the ball gets over. Leah Lucas. At a point for Joppatowne. Now, Leah Lucas, you can see, compared to the size of her teammates, not a very big kid. It's a nice picture there when you see Leah standing right next to number 16, Gianna Braxton. Probably about a foot difference, but great competitor. And remember, just a freshman. All up and blocking it. Braxton. Whoa. No defense for that. Braxton up over the net. Remember, you cannot touch the net. Touch the net, and you know it's a point for the other team. Here's Leah Lucas, the aforementioned freshman. I'm waiting for the old announcer's jinx to cut in here. Oh, that's a little bit of a miss hit, but it worked out for Joppatowne. Ball went over off the fingertips and just sort of crazed over the net. 15-11 now, back within 4. We give the Mariners credit. Now here comes again Kaylee Morales with that jump serve. It's what you see in college all the time. That's the mainstay. This time perfect. Oh, the attempt this time doesn't work for Braxton. Braxton up over the net, but couldn't get it over. 15-12. Joppatowne back within 3. Their fans are enthused. Here's Morales. Can she do it twice? No. So hard to repeat. And again, we talked about that baseball analogy, how repeating your wind-up where you're taking a big wind-up, very, very hard to do. 16-12. Now Murdoch, Savannah Murdoch to serve for Aberdeen. 4-point lead, third set. Powerful, powerful serve. That's Braxton up to knock it down, but actually disturbed where the ball was going, and the point goes to Joppatowne. It looked like the player in the back line was ready to make that return, but Braxton went up, hit it off her fingertips. Joppatowne looking to try to close and maybe win this third game. Kruger, great shot. It can go over, it hit the rafters, but as long as you can return it, it's still good, and does. Boy, this is a great volley. Good set. Kruger still alive. Can they get it over? No! Point Aberdeen. 17-13. And now the young lady that we were mentioning at the 4 near the net, Gianna Braxton, senior, hits it right in that no man's land. She's a senior, but this is her first year playing volleyball. 18-13. Within 7 points of wrapping up this win, 19-13. Now it's 6 points away. Senior night at Joppatowne. They would love nothing better than to knock off Aberdeen, but the Eagles, looks like they're taking care of business. And it will stay on this side, make it 20-13. It was 15-12 just a moment ago, and now 5-1 the points for Aberdeen. Boy, that ball just ticked the net, kind of threw off the attempts to return it, make it 21-13. Within now 4 points of winning the third game and wrapping up the match. Gianna Braxton. No, it doesn't go over. Oops, we have a volleyball on the court, one of the volleyballs that were given away to the seniors, but it's been retrieved and we're all good. 21-14. Back into the game for Joppatowne to do the serving. Kelsey Pollock. Nice line drive serve. Lucas gets it across somehow. Into the net it goes, 22-14, within 3 points. Aberdeen to serve. That's Shyla Johnson. Good set. Nope, they said the ball comes down into the hand too far, and that makes it 23-14 now, just 2 points away. Kind of sad to see the fall season coming to an end. We'll take about a month off and we'll go into the winter season. Excited about watching basketball, girls and boys. 24-14, wrestling, swimming. So thankful to the Hartford Cable Network folks for allowing us to do this, and for the athletic directors and the folks in the school. Difficult circumstances in these days of COVID, but let's see if the game point of Aberdeen can score it right here. 24-14, Joppatowne trying to stay alive. Set by Lucas. Here's Kruger, and what a way to end it. Kruger on a set from Lucas as Aberdeen wins it by a final score of 25-14. So Aberdeen winning their 13th game of the year, 13-3. Joppatowne falling to 1-13. Aberdeen winning 25-15, 25-11, and 25-14. Joppatowne showing very well. Playing Aberdeen very tight in that last set, closing it to 15-12 at one point before Aberdeen went on a run. You look at Aberdeen, look at players like Leah Lucas, the freshman, Savannah Murdoch, the junior, Jocelyn Kruger, the sophomore, all coming back next year. Jamia McCluskey, the all-everything coach, who was, again, we outlined what she did as an athlete and now as a three-sport coach at Aberdeen. So things are really looking up for Aberdeen. Meantime, Joppatowne, yeah, we're not sure about Coach Watson, whether Michelle Watson will be back next year as the coach. She stepped in an emergency situation this year, and whether she will be or not, we don't know. We wish Coach Nicholas Solzbach the best, the first-year science teacher, who is going to try to be starting the Joppatowne boys volleyball program back next year. It would be great to see them have volleyball again for boys here at Joppatowne. Do hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed the entire season as we've covered the wide world of sports in Harford County. Everything from football to boys and girls soccer. Gosh, what else have we covered? The golf we had cheerleading the other night. It's just been a great fall season, something that we didn't know we'd be able to do based on COVID restrictions and things like that. But with the cooperation of the schools and of everyone concerned, we've been able to have a 12-game coverage season here during the fall campaign. So again, thank you for tuning in all season long. We'll be back in the winter with boys basketball and girls basketball, and wrestling and swimming. Hope you'll enjoy that as well. I'm Don Morrison. It's been my pleasure in our 28th season with the Harford Cable Network covering high school sports in Harford County. Saying to you good night, everyone. Have a great time, and we'll be back with you in the winter season. Good night, everyone.